Hello and welcome to this grammar tutorial in which we're looking at conditionals. And we're looking at how we use the word if in sentences with the first and second conditionals. So let's start with the question, what are conditionals? They're commonly used in English, but what are they exactly? Well, conditionals are used to speculate about what will happen, what could happen, and what might happen. In English, most sentences using the conditional contain the word if. There are other ways to create conditional sentences, but the most popular and the easiest is using the word if. Let's look at these sentences. They all start with if, but they're all very different. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If I pass the test, my parents will buy me a new phone. If I won $1 million, I would travel around the world. If I had woken up on time, I wouldn't have been late. 4 sentences all starting with if, but very different grammar, as you can see highlighted in red, and also different meanings, different situations. So the first is zero conditional, the second is first conditional, the next is second conditional, and the last one is third conditional. In this presentation, we'll look at the first and second conditional sentences. Okay, and I have another video which looks at third conditionals, which you can check out on our YouTube channel. So, how do we create sentences with first and second conditionals? How do we create those sentences? Well, it's not difficult. First conditionals look at a possible condition and its probable result. So something that can realistically and easily happen, and what would be the result of that happening. For example, if I pass the test, my parents will take me for pizza. It's not impossible to pass the test. And being rewarded with pizza is not unrealistic. Okay? If I pass the test, my parents will take me for pizza. And you see there, the first half of the sentence, we use if, plus the present simple, if I pass the test. And then the second half, we use the future. My parents will take me for pizza. And here are a few more examples. If you eat too much sugar, you will gain weight. If my computer breaks, I will need to get a new one. If the weather is cold tomorrow, I will wear a scarf. These are all things that can easily happen. You can easily eat too much sugar, or your computer might break, or the weather could be cold. And these are the things, the probable result. You'll gain weight, you'll need a new one, or you'll need to fix it, and wear a scarf if it's cold. So first conditional looks at realistic situations that can happen and their result. Second conditional is a hypothetical condition and its probable result. So something less likely to happen, something less realistic. If I won the lottery, I would travel to Brazil. Yes, if I won the lottery, I would travel to Brazil. But winning the lottery is not something that happens every day. It's not such a realistic thing. But if you want to talk about hypothetical, this is how we do it. And you see, second conditional, we use the past simple. Okay? And then we use would with verb 1. If I won, not if I win, if I won the lottery, I would travel to Brazil. And here are some other situations that we can use second conditional. If I saw a snake in our class, I would jump on my desk. So hopefully it would be an unusual thing to see a snake in your class. And that would be the reaction. I would jump on my desk. If I were an astronaut, I would travel to Mars. It's very difficult for me now to become an astronaut because I'm already a teacher and I haven't gone to study the things astronauts need to study. So it's unrealistic for me to become an astronaut. But if I were an astronaut, I would travel to Mars. And finally, if I met a Hollywood superstar in 7-Eleven, in a local store, I would definitely take a selfie with them. it's very unlikely I'm going to see Lady Gaga in the local store. But if I did, I would definitely ask to take a selfie with them. So second conditionals, hypothetical conditions, things that are less realistic, less likely to happen. But you can still say, if they did happen, I would do this. Okay. Something strange, but important to remember. In second conditionals, when we talk about I, we use the verb to be were. You don't say if I was. You have to say if I were. Why is that? I don't know, but it is a rule you need to follow. And it's a rule a lot of people make mistakes with. If I were a teacher, I would give everybody very little homework. If I were the president, I would change the laws. Okay? If I were... So when we are making these sentences, using the verb to be, you cannot use was, you need to use were. An important rule to remember. Another thing to remember, you can change the order in conditional sentences. You can flip it around. If I forgot my homework, my teacher will be angry. If I forget my homework, my teacher will be angry. You can flip it around. My teacher will be angry if I forget my homework. If you do this, you need to be careful with your punctuation. So if you use if in the middle of a sentence, you do not need a comma. The second sentence, my teacher will be angry if I forget my homework. If can be used as a conjunction, so we don't need a comma there. It connects the two clauses. However, you do need a comma if you use if at the beginning of a sentence. So if I forget my homework, comma, my teacher will be angry. So it's very important to remember your commas with conditional sentences. Very, very important. But easy to remember. Start a sentence with if, have a comma in the middle. Have if in the middle, you do not need a comma. Easy to remember. So just to review, first conditionals, possible conditions, realistic situations. Present simple, future. Second conditionals, hypothetical conditions, unrealistic situations, like meeting a superstar in your local store. And we use would. So past simple and would. So they're the rules to remember for first and second conditionals. There you go. Just to remind you again. First conditionals, present simple, will. Second conditionals, past simple, would. Right. Hopefully you've got that and you'll remember the rules. Now it's your turn. So, I'd like you to write down number 1 to number 10, and I have 10 sentences, and I'd like you to decide if they're first or second conditionals, and then use the correct grammar. And here are those 10 sentences. So when you look at the sentence, think carefully, is it realistic situation? Is it something that happens often, or something that's realistically going to happen? If it's not, if it is, use the first conditional. If it's unrealistic, use the second conditional. Okay. I'm going to leave you there. So if you've not finished, hit the pause button, answer those questions. And if you would like to see the answers, you will need to check out the description below this YouTube video. And I would like to say thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope you now understand first and second conditionals. And if you do, please hit like, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.